welcome back. This is your second dose math lesson for the week. Today is Wednesday, so this is your second math lesson. Hopefully yesterday's wasn't too bad. If it was, like I stated, please leave comments for questions, or send me a text, or have your parents send me an email. Today we are going to be assigned page 6, and Miss Norris is going to do page 7 with you. Okay, so once again, you are assigned page 6, and Miss Norris is going to be teaching you page 7. All right, so get your packets ready, get your brain ready, turn it on, and let's get started. Bye.
All right, so remember, you all are doing this page. I believe, let's see, there are only 4 questions. Say thank you, Miss Norris, because there's only 4 questions. Yes, I'm the best. But Miss Norris is going to be doing this page with you. All right, so go ahead and turn to page 7. Now remember, yesterday we learned whole part with our whole part chart. And remember, we also learned that whole part is very useful when we have missing numbers in an equation and when we have a story problem. And today we have word problems. It says it right here. There is word problems, which means something is probably going to be missing in the story. And so if something is going to be missing, we need to find it. And in order to help us find it, we need our whole part chart. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw it on there. W's at the top, P's at the bottom. And like I said, forgive my handwriting on here because for some reason it's only letting me use my finger. And the smaller I write, the more messier it looks. So I have my whole part. Now let's read the story. Louis sees 14 dogs at the dog park. 6 of the dogs are small dogs. The rest of the dogs are big dogs. How many dogs are big? Show your work. I'm going to underline the question because that's what we are wanting to find out. And if we are wanting to find that out, that means that we don't know the answer to that. So, how many dogs does Louise have all together? Does the story tell us? Yes, it does. It says Louise sees 14 dogs. Apologies, that was not underlined. He sees 14 dogs at the park. So that means my whole is going to be 14. Because that's how many he has all together. Remember, our whole means all together. And it says 6 of the dogs are small dogs. So we know that we have 2 different types of dogs. We have small dogs, we have big dogs. So we know that 6 of the dogs are small. So that means one of my parts has to be 6. And how many dogs are big? Well, if it's asking us, that means we don't know. So that means that's a question mark. All right, here we go. As we learned, we know that W minus P equals P. And we also know that P plus P equals W, right? So we have our whole, we have our part. So that means we need to do what? You should have told your brain we needed to subtract. All right, so here we go. 14 minus 6. All right, and we always start in the ones place. And when we subtract, the first thing we do is circle the bigger number. And the bigger number is 6. More on the floor, go next door. When I subtract, I take from the tens and then go back. So it's more on the floor, go next door. How many do I take? I only take 1. So if I take 1 from 1, that means I now have 0. I take from the tens and then go back and I add the 10. Now my 4 turns into 14. Now I can subtract. 14 minus 6 is, let's put 14 in our brain, 6 on our fingers, and count backwards. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Your answer should be dun, 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 8. There are 8 big dogs. Dun, dun, dun. All right, here we go. Let's go to the next one. Number 6. And even though Miss Norris erased it, I don't like that word. I'm so sorry. I taught y'all better. I taught y'all better English. Miss Norris does not like it when we do not show work for math. And even though I just erased my work, the only reason why I erased my work was because to me it was sloppy on my tablet when I'm trying to do this for you. But you should always show your work, and using your whole part chart and doing your equation is showing your work. I do not want to just see an answer of 8. You need to show work. I need to see that you've shown work. All right, number 6. We know this is a word problem, so more than likely we are needing what? Our whole part chart. All right. Now, here we go. Sadie has 20 crayons. She finds 8 crayons in her desk. The rest of the crayons are in her crayon box. How many crayons are in Sadie's crayon box? Show your work. All right, so we have our whole part chart. The first question we need to ask is, did they tell us our whole? Having our whole sometimes is the most important thing we want to figure out. So, do we know our whole? Your brain should have said yes, because it tells us right here, Sadie has 20 crayons. So we know that our whole is 20. All right? We know our whole is 20. She finds 8 crayons in her desk. So that means we have 2 different parts of crayons. We have some that are in her desk, and we said the rest are in her crayon box. So we have 2 different places of our crayons, which means 2 different parts. We have our desk crayons and our crayon box crayons. All right. We know that 8 of those crayons are in her desk. We don't know how many are in her crayon box. So that means it is a question mark. Looking up here at our equations, we know that when we have our whole and our part, we subtract. So here we go. We have 20 minus 8. And actually, I'm going to erase this and make it a little bit smaller so I can have room. 20 minus 8. All right. And we always start in the ones place. All right. When we subtract, the first thing we do is circle the bigger number. The bigger number is 8. More on the floor, go next door. When I subtract, I take from the tens and then go back. So I circled the bigger number. More on the floor, go next door. So I'm going to go next door and I'm going to take only one. I only need one because when I take one from the tens and put it back to the ones place, it's going to turn into 10 ones. I don't need 20 ones or 30 ones. I only need 10. So if I'm only taking one, 1 minus 2 equals 1. So I only have 1 left. All right? I take from the tens and then go back and I add the 10. Apologies, I'm going to make it as good as I possibly can for y'all. Plus 10. 0 plus 10 equals 10. So now my biggest number is at the top. More on the top. No need to stop. 10 minus 8 is 2. I go to my tens place. I have a 1 and a blank. We know that the blank is equal to 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. So the answer is 12. All right. Now, all of this is showing your work. This right here, you see this? You don't even see nothing, do you? No, you don't see nothing because that's not showing your work. If this is empty, then you didn't do something right. Your paper should look like this. Not like this, but this. Not this, this. No. Yes, yes. All right. So, number 7 is which strategy did you use to solve your problem? Explain to solve problem 6. And you would just write that we used our whole part method. And you're going to explain why we use it. Well, we use it because it's easy for us to find a missing number in a word problem when we have our whole part chart. All right, so Miss Norris has done number 5 and number 6 with you. And so now you're going to go to page 6 and you're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 problems. Now, if I hear anybody complaining about 4 problems, I'm going to have a problem. All right, so you're doing 1, 2, 3, and 4. Miss Norris has done 5 and 6 and 7 with you. And so you may get started. And remember, I love you. And stay safe. And hashtag stay in the house. Wash your hands. Be good. And I love you. Get your work done. Because these packets will need to be turned in. So do your best. Show your work. Love you. Bye.